used to think every road sounded different. Another station near the county line, another coffee gone cold again. Another conversation cut too early before it could become a friend. I always kept my bags half-packed, like staying meant giving in. Like roots belong to other people, and movement meant I win. I learned every shortcut out of town, every back road, every sign. But somewhere after all these years, nothing felt like mine. Then one evening through an open doorway, you looked up and didn't ask me where I'd been. You just smiled and said, "You look like somebody who forgot how to stop." And I laughed, 'cause you were right. Stay until the street lights fade, until the morning finds the room, until these restless hands remember they don't always have to move. Stay until the street lights fade, until the night becomes the day. And maybe for the first time I won't leave, just because I can. Stay. Talked about small traditions, like they carry their own weight. Sunday records, kitchen windows, and dinners running late. You said people think life happens later, but maybe this is it. I looked around, and suddenly the room felt larger. The piano opened quietly, electric guitar stretched long notes, and somehow every mile behind me stopped asking to be noticed. Maybe freedom isn't distance, maybe peace is in control. Maybe I've been chasing movement instead of something whole. Stay until the street lights fade, until the morning finds the room, until these restless hands remember they don't always have to move. Stay until the street lights fade, until the night becomes the day. Maybe for the first time I won't leave, just because I can. Stay. Electric guitar rises softly, warm overdrive and gentle delay. The melody stretches upward, like headlights disappearing into dawn. I thought the road would recognize me after all the years I gave. But roads don't remember names, people do. And maybe that's why this feels different. Maybe that's why I'm afraid. Because this time I wanna stay. Stay until the street lights fade, until tomorrow reaches through, until these old songs stop sounding like something I outgrew. Stay until the street lights fade, and if the morning asks my name, tell it I'm still here, and that's enough. Still here. electric guitar returns softly. Piano holds a final chord. Electric guitar disappears into air. For all the roads I used to follow, tonight I followed you. Don't ask where you've been. I left another town this morning without remembering the street. Coffee cooling in the cup holder, dust collecting on the seat. I used to call that independence, like moving men I couldn't lose, like nobody could disappoint me if nobody got to choose. I learned how to travel lightly, learned how to lead before the rain, learned how to make every ending sound temporary again. But somewhere after midnight, your voice stayed. You never asked me to stop, never asked me what came next. You only said you looked tired, and somehow it felt like rest. Somewhere between goodbye and home, I stopped counting miles, stopped chasing every horizon, stop pretending all the while. Somewhere between goodbye and home, I found something true. And after every road I followed, kept coming back to you. Back to you, back to you. You talked about ordinary evenings like they were worth remembering. Open windows, old records, and mornings without leaving. You asked, when was the last time you stayed somewhere without checking the clock? I laughed because I couldn't remember. The electric guitar kept breathing, bass moved slowly underneath, and somehow all my old directions started feeling incomplete. Maybe freedom isn't distance, maybe peace is an escape, maybe all this moving was only another way to wait. Somewhere between goodbye and home, I stopped counting miles, stopped chasing every horizon, stopped pretending all the while. Somewhere between goodbye and home, I found something true. And after every road I followed, I kept coming back to you. Back to you, back to you, yeah. Electric at divide over dive, nothing lies. I thought I needed movement to prove I was alive, but maybe being alive is opening the door and not leaving the first chance you get. And maybe that's what this is. Somewhere between goodbye and home, I finally understood that not every road is freedom, and not every ending is good. Yeah. Somewhere between goodbye and home. If tomorrow asks me where I'll go, I'll say not far, not tonight, because I already know. Already know. Already know. Already know. For years I thought home was a place. Turns out it was a person. I used to think every road had one more answer. I left before the sun most mornings, before the world could say goodbye. Another tank of borrowed freedom, another piece of open sky. I learned the shape of gas station windows, the sound of tires in the rain, how to turn every conversation into something incomplete again. I kept old postcards in the console, and names inside my sleeve, thinking if I never stopped anywhere, nothing could ever leave. But somewhere in the middle of nowhere, your memory caught up. You once said you always talk about leaving. What happens if one day you don't? I laughed, but I remembered. One more town before home, that's what I always said. One more road, one more sunrise, one more place ahead. One more town before home, but somewhere along the line I stopped looking at the horizon and started looking behind to you. Never spoken big conclusions, never made forever sound grand. You just talked about ordinary evenings like they were enough to understand. You said, maybe home isn't where you stay, maybe it's where you stop pretending. I smiled because nobody had ever said something so small that felt so true. The fretless bass moved underneath us, the electric guitar stretched through the room, and suddenly all my old directions didn't feel so important. Maybe freedom isn't distance, maybe peace isn't escape. Maybe some people stay moving because slowing down feels strange. place ahead, one more town before home. But somewhere along the line, I stopped looking at the horizon and started looking behind to you. Like evening becoming memory. I thought the road would finish me, turn me into somebody new. But roads don't remember names, people do. And maybe after all these years, I wasn't running towards something, I was running from being known. One more town before home. I don't say that anymore, because not every open highway needs another door. One more town before home. Now the answer feels clear. Home was never waiting somewhere else, it was already here. With you, with you, with you. With you. Finger picked to think. Every road had one more answer. I lived to think. Every road had one more answer. I left before the sun most mornings, before the world could say goodbye. Another tank of borrowed freedom, another piece of open sky. I learned the shape of gas station windows, the sound of tires in the rain, how to turn every conversation into something incomplete again. I kept old postcards in the console and names inside my sleeve, thinking if I never stopped anywhere, nothing could ever leave. But somewhere in the middle of nowhere, your memory caught up. You once said, you always talk about leaving. What happens if one day you don't? I left, but I remember. One more town before home, that's what I always said. One more road, one more sunrise, one more place ahead. One more town before home. But somewhere along the line, I stopped looking at the horizon and started looking behind to you. You never spoke in big conclusions, never made forever sound grand. You just talked about ordinary evenings like they were enough to understand. You said, maybe home isn't where you stay, maybe it's where you stop pretending. I smiled, because nobody had ever said something so small that felt so true. The room feels wide and quiet. Some roads don't end, they just become memories. dreams turned into plans. Before morning started meaning more than places on a map. I told myself that moving forward meant never turning around, like standing still too long would somehow pull me down. I kept old receipts inside my pockets, old songs inside my head, and every place that almost kept me became another road instead. Until one night you asked me something simple. You said, if you finally found what you've been looking for, would you even recognize it? And I didn't answer. I kept driving past the lights, thinking something waited farther on. Another town, another feeling, another place to belong. I kept driving past the lights, but somewhere in the middle of blue I realized I wasn't looking ahead anymore. I was looking for you, looking for you. You talked about ordinary evenings like they had their own kind of grace, open windows and late conversations, and not needing to escape. You said, maybe life isn't somewhere else, maybe it starts when you stop leaving. I laughed because nobody had ever made staying sound so alive. The fretless bass moves slowly, the piano widened every line, and suddenly all my old reasons didn't fit anymore. Maybe freedom is a movement, maybe peace is in control, maybe some roads keep getting longer until somebody makes them small. I kept driving past the lights, thinking something waited farther on. Another town, another feeling, another place to belong. I kept driving past the lights, but somewhere in the middle of blue I realized I wasn't looking ahead anymore. I was looking for you, looking for you. I thought distance made me fearless, I thought movement made me whole, but roads only teach direction, they don't teach how to stay. And maybe that's what this was all along. The lights until there were none left to chase, and suddenly all I wanted was one familiar place. I kept driving past the lights, now I finally understand. Home was never a destination, it was someone holding out their hand, holding out their hand. Finger picked ethos, one final note. Everything slowly disappears. I still love the road. I just don't need it to feel free anymore. I used to think every road sounded different. Another station near the county line, another coffee gone cold again, another conversation cut too early before it could become a friend. I always kept my bags half-packed, like staying meant giving in, like roots belong to other people and movement meant I win. I learned every shortcut out of town, every back road, every sign. But somewhere after all these years, nothing felt like mine. Then one evening through an open doorway, you looked up and didn't ask me where I'd been. You just smiled and said, "You look like somebody who forgot how to stop." And I laughed, 'cause you were right. Stay until the street lights fade, until the morning finds the room, until these restless hands remember they don't always have to move. Stay until the street lights fade, until the night becomes the day. Maybe for the first time I won't leave, just because I can. Stay. You talked about small traditions, like they carry their own weight. Sunday records, kitchen windows, and dinners running late. You said people think life happens later, but maybe this is it. I looked around, and suddenly the room felt larger. The piano opened quietly, electric guitar stretched long notes, and somehow every mile behind me stopped asking to be noticed. Maybe freedom isn't distance, maybe peace isn't control. Maybe I've been chasing movement instead of something whole. Stay until the street lights fade, until the morning finds the room, until these restless hands remember they don't always have to move. Stay until the street lights fade, until the night becomes the day. Maybe for the first time I won't leave, just because I can. Stay. Electric guitar rises softly, warm overdrive and gentle delay. The melody stretches upward, like headlights disappearing into dawn. I thought the road would recognize me after all the years I gave. But roads don't remember names, people do. And maybe that's why this feels different. Maybe that's why I'm afraid. Because this time I wanna stay. Stay until the street lights fade, until tomorrow reaches through, until these old songs stop sounding like something I outgrew. Stay until the street lights fade, and if the morning asks my name, tell it I'm still here, and that's enough. Still here. Still here. The plastic guitar returns softly. Piano holds a final chord. Electric guitar disappears into air. For all the roads I used to follow, tonight I followed you. Don't ask where you've been. I left another town this morning without remembering the street. Coffee cooling in the cup holder, dust collecting on the seat. I used to call that independence, like moving men I couldn't lose, like nobody could disappoint me if nobody got to choose. I learned how to travel lightly, learned how to leave before the rain, learned how to make every ending sound temporary again. But somewhere after midnight, your voice stayed. You never asked me to stop, never asked me what came next. You only said you looked tired, and somehow it felt like rest. Somewhere between goodbye and home, I stopped counting miles, stopped chasing every horizon, stop pretending all the while. Somewhere between goodbye and home, I found something true. And after every road I followed, I kept coming back to you. Back to you, back to you. You talked about ordinary evenings like they were worth remembering. Open windows, old records, and mornings without leaving. You asked, when was the last time you stayed somewhere without checking the clock? I laughed because I couldn't remember. The electric guitar kept breathing, bass moved slowly underneath, and directions, started feeling incomplete. Maybe freedom isn't distance, maybe peace is an escape. Maybe all this moving was only another way to wait. Somewhere between goodbye and home, I stopped counting miles, stopped chasing every horizon, stopped pretending all the while. Somewhere between goodbye and home, I found something true. And after every road I followed, I kept coming back to you. Back to you. Back to you, yeah. Electric divide overdrive, living lives. I thought I needed movement to prove I was alive, but maybe being alive is opening the door and not leaving the first chance you get. And maybe that's what this is. Somewhere between goodbye and home, I finally understood that not every road is freedom, and not every ending is good, yeah. Somewhere between goodbye and home. If tomorrow asks me where I'll go, I'll say not far, not tonight, because I already know. Already know. Already know. Already know. For years I thought home was a place. Turns out it was a person. I used to think every road had one more answer. Left before the sun most mornings, before the world could say goodbye. Another tank of borrowed freedom, another piece of open sky. I learned the shape of gas station windows, the sound of tires in the rain, how to turn every conversation into something incomplete again. I kept old postcards in the console, and names inside my sleeve, thinking if I never stopped anywhere, nothing could ever leave. But somewhere in the middle of nowhere, your memory caught up. You once said, you always talk about leaving. What happens if one day you don't? I laughed, but I remembered. One more town before home, that's what I always said. One more road, one started looking behind to you. You never spoke in big conclusions, never made forever sound grand. You just talked about ordinary evenings like they were enough to understand. You said, maybe home isn't where you stay, maybe it's where you stop pretending. I smiled because nobody had ever said something so small that felt so true. The fretless bass moved underneath us, the electric guitar stretched through the room, and suddenly all my old directions didn't feel so important. Maybe freedom isn't distance, maybe peace isn't escape. Maybe some people stay moving because slowing down feels strange. One more town before home, that's what I always said. One more road, one more sunrise, one more place ahead. One more town before home, but somewhere along the line I stopped looking at the horizon and started looking behind to you. Like evening becoming memory. I thought the road would finish me, turn me into somebody new. But roads don't remember names, people do. And maybe after all these years I wasn't running towards something, I was running from being known. One more town before home, I don't say that anymore, because not every open highway needs another door. One more town before home, now the answer feels clear. Home was never waiting somewhere else, it was already here. With you, with you, with you. With you. Finger picked to think. Every road had one more answer. I lived to think. Every road had one more answer. I left before the sun most mornings, before the world could say goodbye. Another tank of borrowed freedom, another piece of open sky. I learned the shape of gas station windows, the sound of tires in the rain, how to turn every conversation into something incomplete again. I kept old postcards in the console and names inside my sleeve, thinking if I never stopped anywhere, nothing could ever leave. But somewhere in the middle of nowhere, your memory caught up. You once said, you always talk about leaving. What happens if one day you don't? I left, but I remember behind to you. You never spoke in big conclusions, never made forever sound grand. You just talked about ordinary evenings like they were enough to understand. You said, maybe home isn't where you stay, maybe it's where you stop pretending. I smiled because nobody had ever said something so small that felt so true. The room feels wide and quiet. Some roads don't end, they just become memories. I used to leave before attachment, before names turned into plans, before mornings started meaning more than places on a map. I told myself that moving forward meant never turning around, like standing still too long would somehow pull me down. I kept old receipts inside my pockets, old songs inside my head, and every place that almost kept me became another road instead. Until one night you asked me something simple. You said, if you finally found what you've been looking for, would you even recognize it? And I didn't answer. I kept driving past the lights, thinking something waited farther on. Another town, another feeling, another place to belong. I kept driving past the lights, but somewhere in the middle of blue I realized I wasn't looking ahead anymore. I was looking for you, looking for you. Talked about ordinary evenings like they had their own kind of grace, open windows and late conversations, and not needing to escape. You said, maybe life isn't somewhere else, maybe it starts when you stop leaving. I laughed because nobody had ever made staying sound so alive. The fretless bass moved slowly, the piano widened every line, and suddenly all my old reasons didn't fit anymore. Maybe freedom isn't movement, maybe peace is in control, maybe some roads keep getting longer until somebody makes them small. I kept driving past the lights, thinking something waited farther on. Another town, another feeling, another place to belong. I kept driving past the lights, but somewhere in the middle of blue I realized I wasn't looking ahead anymore. I was looking for you, looking for you. I thought distance made me fearless, I thought movement made me whole, but roads only teach direction, they don't teach how to stay. all along. Until there were none left to chase, and suddenly all I wanted was one familiar place. I kept driving past the lights. Now I finally understand. Home was never a destination. It was someone holding out their hand. Fingerpicked with those one final note. Everything